quaint café nestled in the heart of Paris. The aroma of fresh croissants mingled with the rich scent of coffee. A soft chatter of patrons created a cozy atmosphere as Clara sat at corner table, her eyes glimmering with excitement. A day was different. She felt a pull towards something mysterious, something that lingered just beyond her reach. Old Man Pierre, known for his tales that danced between reality and myth, occupied the seat across from her. His wrinkled hands cradled a steaming mug as he recounted stories to anyone willing to listen. Clara leaned closer, captivated by his voice, which trembled with age yet resonated with an intensity that drew her in. He spoke of Blanche Nuit, the white night, a night where time stood still and spirits wandered freely through the streets. He painted vivid images of lost souls drifting aimlessly and shadows flickering like candlelight against ancient walls. Clara felt an irresistible urge to uncover this legend for herself. A café dimmed as evening descended upon the city. Imagined what it would be like during La Blanche Nuit, the thrill of meeting spirits whose stories were left untold. Clara's heart raced at the thought of walking hand in hand with phantoms under the moonlight. Old Man Pierre's voice took on a somber tone as he warned about its dangers. He spoke of those who had become trapped between realms, lost forever in their pursuit of connection or adventure. Yet, Clara dismissed his warnings. Curiosity burned brighter than fear within her spirit. After Pierre concluded his tale, she reflected on every word spoken while sipping her coffee slowly. Julien, her skeptical friend sitting nearby absorbed in his own thoughts, raised an eyebrow when he noticed Clara's dreamy expression. He often found himself tugging at her adventurous nature whenever they crossed paths with urban legends or ghostly tales. Clara turned to him with wide eyes filled with wonder, recounting every detail she could remember from Old Man Pierre's story. Julien listened patiently, but remained unconvinced by the magical allure surrounding La Blanche Nuit. He might have been frightened away by such ominous tales. Clara found herself weaving dreams of exploration into reality, a night spent tracing footsteps alongside spirits seeking solace beneath starlit skies. Passed since their encounter at the café. Every evening brought new whispers about approaching nights steeped in mystery and magic. Buzz around town grew more fervent until one fateful evening when Clara approached Julien once again, this time armed not only with words but also an unshakable resolve. Proposed they embark on an adventure together, a daring quest to witness La Blanche Nuit firsthand. Though hesitant at first, Julien recognized that resisting Clara's enthusiasm was futile. Ultimately giving way to intrigue over skepticism seemed inevitable. Preparations unfolded amidst laughter and lighthearted banter. Their backpacks filled with snacks and flashlights, they ventured forth into unknown territory under a blanket, adorned with stars twinkling above them like distant beacons, guiding lost souls homeward. Despite their contrasting views regarding urban legends, one fueled by curiosity, while the other tethered firmly to logic, they shared an undeniable bond forged through adventure and friendship, which made each step lighter than before as they journeyed deeper into uncharted realms, punctuated only by fleeting shadows cast against crumbling buildings long forgotten by time itself. Little did they know that La Blanche Nuit awaited them just ahead, its ethereal embrace ready to envelop them both. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Clara and Julien found themselves wandering deeper into the abandoned part of town. Eerie stillness enveloped them, as if the air had thickened around their bodies. Shadows flickered in the periphery of their vision, teasing glimpses of movement that vanished upon closer inspection. Clara, filled with a mixture of excitement and apprehension, felt a chill crawl up her spine. A thrill of discovery ignited her adventurous spirit, while Julien walked beside her, skepticism etched on his face. He couldn't shake off the feeling that something was terribly wrong. An unsettling sensation pulled at him like a weight. It seemed to distort in this forsaken place. A rhythmic ticking of Clara's watch fell silent, as if it too had succumbed to the enchantment of La Blanche Nuit. Each step they took echoed in the stillness, amplifying their presence amidst the desolation. They stumbled upon an old fountain, its water stagnant and covered in a layer of grime. Clara knelt beside it, running her fingers through the murky surface where once crystal-clear waters flowed. You could almost hear whispers rising from its depth, soft entreaties tinged with longing. Julian stood guard nearby, his heart racing as he peered into the shadows lurking beyond their sight. Shiver gripped him. He urged Clara to move on before they became even more ensnared by this otherworldly ambience. Curiosity held Clara captive. Her thoughts raced back to Old Man Pierre's tales, the stories that spoke of spirits who roamed these streets during La Blanche Nuit, seeking connection or freedom from their eternal plight. This moment, she felt drawn to uncover whatever secrets lay buried beneath layers of time and silence. An unsettling sound broke through the stillness, a soft sigh carried by an unfelt breeze whispered through Clara's ears. Beautiful and haunting, it beckoned her forward with promises unspoken yet deeply understood. Julian snapped out of his anxious reverie as he noticed Clara entranced by something unseen yet palpable in front of her. He grabbed her arm gently but firmly, trying to coax her back to reality while fear clawed at his chest, fear for what she might awaken within this spectral night. Around them, shadows began dancing more freely now. Twisting figures blurred between worlds danced just out of reach, drawn by Clara's presence, but hesitant about revealing themselves fully in front of Julian's wary gaze. Figure slipped into view, a delicate silhouette adorned in ethereal white, a spirit caught between realms emerged briefly from obscurity, before retreating again behind tendrils of mist swirling around them. Clara gasped softly at this apparition. Something deep inside urged her forward despite Julian's tightening grip on her arm. There it was again, the ghostly sigh echoing louder now, as if inviting them into a realm unexplored, yet dangerously intoxicating. "What is happening?" Julian murmured under his breath. Desperation laced his tone as unease settled heavily around them like twilight fog creeping across desolate streets. Just then, an intoxicating allure snaked its way through their surroundings. Whispers danced among shadowy forms, weaving tales both tragic and enchanting, a symphony luring souls toward unknown destinies woven together by fate itself. That moment, suspended between light and dark, the line blurring ever so slightly, they were faced with a choice. Back into safety, or step boldly into mystery, where whispers entwined with lost dreams hung tantalizingly close, awaiting recognition. As Clara and Julian wandered through the abandoned streets, otherworldly hush enveloped them. The familiar sounds of the city faded into a profound silence, leaving only the echo of their footsteps against cracked pavement. Shadows danced at the edges of their vision, teasing them with glimpses of something beyond the veil of reality. Step, Clara felt a magnetic pull toward the unknown. Her heart raced not from fear but from exhilaration, seeking adventure, and was determined to uncover the secrets hidden within La Blanche Nuit. Yet, Julian's anxiety grew palpable in contrast to her eagerness. He often glanced over his shoulder as if expecting some spectral presence to emerge from the darkness. They ventured deeper into this liminal space. Clara noticed changes in her surroundings. Colors seemed more vibrant, and even the air shimmered with a strange energy. It was as if time itself had folded upon itself, creating a pocket where moments stretched infinitely. Ethereal whispers began to swirl around them, soft murmurs that brushed against their ears like fragile silk threads, weaving tales long forgotten. Clara paused, entranced by the sound that seemed to beckon her closer. She closed her eyes for a moment and surrendered herself to those haunting melodies. Julian's voice cut through her reverie. He urged her to keep moving, sensing an urgency tinged with dread. But Clara's curiosity anchored her in place. As she turned towards the source of those whispers, a figure materialized just beyond their reach. Lucy stood before them, draped in flowing garments that appeared woven from moonlight itself. Her eyes held centuries' worth of sorrow, mingled with hope, a connection between realms offered only during this sacred night. Clara could feel Lucy's energy resonate within her soul. It was both unsettling and beautiful. Lucy reached out as if inviting them into her world, a world filled with stories yet untold, and lost memories longing for companionship. With every word she spoke about wandering souls trapped between existence and oblivion, Clara felt an awakening within herself. Echoes of loneliness mirrored Lucy's plight, stung deeply at her heart. Lucy's tale unfolded like petals unfurling in springtime, each layer revealing more about life after death. Julian remained on edge behind Clara, his anxiety mounting while listening intently, but desperately wanting escape from this eerie encounter. Lucy shared how countless spirits roamed under cover of La Blanche Nuit lost, but seeking connection among kindred souls willing to listen without judgment or haste. Ibhausen became trapped forever within this realm due to regrets unfulfilled or bonds, never formed a cycle endlessly repeating, until someone stepped forth willing to embrace vulnerability and seek solace amidst shadows cast. Flickering lamplight scattered throughout deserted streets. Clara's heart swelled with compassion for Lucy. The yearning spirit painted vivid images within Clara's mind. Moments spent laughing under starlit skies intertwined eternally, with memories drifting away like autumn leaves caught up in fleeting wind's embrace. Yet just then Julian's voice pierced through again, an urgent reminder tugged at him. Danger lurking close as he pulled on Clara's arm, gently but firmly urging caution against being ensnared by whispers calling forth mysteries better left unsolved. Though torn between two worlds, the living one where safety lay rooted firmly beneath their feet, and this enchanting realm promising endless connections, illuminated through ghostly light cascading across cobblestones below. Clara hesitated. Uncertainty hung thick around them like mist lingering softly above ground. In that moment when choices loomed ahead, cloaked under layers wrapped tight in shadowy folds, the tension fractured sharply as Clara and Julian stood amidst a whispers of the night. Profound stillness enveloped them. The air crackled with energy, as if the universe held its breath, waiting for their next move. Shadows swirled around them, teasing their senses and igniting a fire within Clara that she could not ignore. From the depths of the swirling mist emerged a figure, a woman draped in flowing white, her ethereal presence both haunting and beautiful. Lucy, the spirit caught between realms, exuded an aura of sadness tinged with hope. Her eyes glimmered like distant stars as she gazed upon Clara with an intensity that pierced through the veil separating the living from the dead. Clara felt drawn toward Lucy, compelled by an unexplainable connection. That moment, she understood the spirit was longing for something more than just existence. She craved understanding and companionship in her eternal limbo. Lucy's voice floated softly through the air like a gentle breeze. Clara listened intently to her sorrowful tale, how she became trapped during La Blanche Nuit, yearning for freedom yet bound by unseen chains. Julian watched from a distance, his heart pounding as he sensed Clara slipping further into this spectral encounter. Anxiety clawed at him as he struggled to comprehend what was unfolding before his very eyes. The stories they had heard were one thing, experiencing it firsthand felt dangerously different. A watcher materialized, then a mysterious figure cloaked in shadows who observed their interaction closely. With an omniscient gaze that seemed to pierce through to their souls, he offered choices wrapped in enigma. Path would lead back to the familiarity of life. Safety awaited them beyond this realm of uncertainty. At another promised eternal connection to embrace Lucy's world, where time lost its meaning and companionship with spirits lingered forevermore. Clara felt torn between two worlds. The allure of adventure whispered sweetly against her ear, while caution echoed in Julian's concerned tone, barely audible amidst rising whispers around them. He glanced back at him, searching for reassurance, but found only apprehension etched on his face. That fleeting moment, suspended in time, her heartbeat matched rhythmically against Lucy's ethereal presence. Clara recognized this was more than mere curiosity. It was about choosing who she wanted to be among these spirits entwined. Tales told by Old Man Pierre long ago. Dawn approached on the horizon, a gentle glow beginning to lighten the darkened sky. She faced her choice: embrace uncertainty alongside Lucy, or retreat back into reality hand in hand with Julian. The weight of her decision pressed heavily upon her chest as echoes reverberated across silent streets, haunted by memories lost yet alive beneath starlit skies, beckoning wanderers homeward once more, with every fiber of her being urging forward, yet anchored to familiar warmth beside Julian. Clara's gaze turned inward, searching past fears toward desires unfurling like petals kissed by sunlight breaking through morning mist. As dawn approached, Clara stood at a precipice between two worlds. Lucy's spirit shimmered before her, a beacon of sorrow and hope intertwined. The whispers that had once seemed inviting now carried an undercurrent of urgency, a plea wrapped in the essence of countless souls yearning for release. Ethereal light surrounding Lucy illuminated her delicate features, revealing depths of longing carved by centuries spent in limbo. Clara could feel the weight of Lucy's story settling upon her heart like a soft blanket woven from memories both beautiful and tragic. He yearned to reach out, to connect with this spirit who had shared her pain and dreams so openly. That moment, Clara understood the true meaning behind La Blanche Nuit. The night was not merely a fantastical legend, but a tapestry woven from the lives of those who walked its path. At Julian's presence flickered like an anxious flame beside her, his grip tightening around her arm as he searched for clarity amidst this swirling uncertainty. He sensed the danger lurking just beyond their grasp. Every story Old Man Pierre had told echoed in his mind like a warning bell. With each passing second, he felt time slipping away as if they were caught in an illusion where reality blurred into shadows. "Clara," Julian whispered urgently, his voice trembling with fear for what might happen if they lingered too long within this haunting embrace. "Have to leave now." But Clara's gaze remained fixed on Lucy, drawn deeper into the spirit's sorrowful eyes. There was something profoundly beautiful about this connection, a chance to understand what it meant to exist beyond life itself. It began to creep into her thoughts. To choose this connection over her own world. Would she truly be able to return if she stepped further into this realm? Lucy tilted her head slightly. Clara's turmoil, without uttering a single word, was as if their hearts beat in rhythm across the divide, two souls yearning for understanding yet bound by the constraints of existence. The watcher emerged from the shadows, a tall figure cloaked in darkness, whose presence commanded attention without uttering a sound. His piercing gaze scanned both Clara and Julian, as if weighing their fates delicately against each other like feathers suspended midair. A watcher gestured toward two paths that unfurled beneath their feet, faintly with golden light leading back towards safety, while another glimmered with silver allure promising endless connections among spirits entwined forevermore. Wisely, he conveyed silently through his intense stare the weight of eternity resting heavily upon them as dawn threatened to shatter this fragile balance between realms. Clara felt torn. Desire clashed violently against reason within her heart as she glanced back at Julian, whose expression mirrored concern tinged with pleading urgency. Every instinct screamed for them to run back towards familiarity, to escape these echoes lingering just beyond reach, but deep inside lay an undeniable compulsion urging exploration into uncharted territories, where stories begged recognition. Amongst restless souls trapped beneath silent skies painted only by moonlight's gentle glow, in that suspended moment filled with possibilities stretching infinitely before them, she pondered whether the allure of those whispers could drown out fears or whether stepping forth would lead them down paths irrevocably altered forevermore. The air thickened as anticipation mingled beautifully with an uncertainty. Clara's decision loomed ahead, heavy yet laced with shimmering potential. Each heartbeat resonated louder than any words spoken, aloud, a question poised delicately upon lips trembling slightly under pressure swirling around them, ultimately guided by intuition more profound than logic alone. One choice offered freedom, whilst another opened doors perhaps best left unopened, and cast adrift amidst lost dreams lingering ever closer, beneath shimmering veils held aloft by fate itself, as the shadows danced around Clara and Julian. Lucy's ethereal presence loomed larger, her voice wrapped around them like a tender caress, weaving tales of longing and loss that resonated deep within Clara's heart. A spirit's sorrowful story unfolded, a narrative steeped in regret, connections missed and a life once cherished. Clara listened intently as Lucy spoke of her existence trapped between worlds, forever wandering through the streets during La Blanche Nuit. There was a weight to her words, an aching desire for companionship that Clara could feel echoing within her own soul. The whispers surrounding them intensified, pulling at the threads of curiosity woven tightly into Clara's adventurous spirit. Julian stood slightly behind her, his heart racing with unease. The air felt charged with something otherworldly, gripped him like a vice as he watched the interaction unfold. He wanted to reach out and pull Clara back from the edge where reality blurred into myth, but found himself rooted in place by a mix of fear and fascination. Lucy's gaze shifted toward Julian momentarily, as if sensing his apprehension. He continued to share fragments of her memories, moments filled with laughter under moonlit skies, transformed into silent cries for help echoed through eternity. or every joy she recounted, there lay an equal measure of heartbreak, souls lost amid their desires and dreams unfulfilled. Clara felt herself drawn deeper into Lucy's world, the stories resonating like melodies plucked from a forgotten stringed instrument. He yearned to understand more about this spirit's plight, what it meant to exist in limbo without connection or closure. As Julian's thoughts raced against this magnetic pull, he sensed danger lurking beneath the surface sweetness of Lucy's tale. He bubbled within him as he strained against the unseen forces, trying to keep them ensnared in this supernatural night. Then came the watcher, a figure draped in shadows who emerged silently from the mist. His presence commanded attention, an enigmatic guide whose eyes gleamed with ancient wisdom and subtle mischief alike. They focused on him. It felt as though time itself paused, waiting for what would come next. A watcher's voice broke through the whispers, a low murmur that resonated deeply within their beings. He presented choices like delicate petals unfurling before them: return home to safety or step willingly into eternal connection with spirits such as Lucy. Clara's heart raced at those options laid bare before them, each choice laced with promise yet fraught with peril. Her embrace adventure alongside Lucy, or would reason beckon her back toward familiarity? She glanced at Julian. His brow furrowed in concern, the weight of their friendship hanging delicately between them like gossamer strands glistening under morning dew. That instant, she understood. This decision transcended mere curiosity. It was about embracing who she truly wished to be amidst spirits lingering just beyond mortal comprehension. Dawn began breaking on the horizon's soft hues, painting shadows anew. The moment stretched infinitely, all possibilities coalescing around them like shimmering stardust caught up in cosmic dance, awaiting recognition with resolve. Trembling inside her chest at last, Clara made her choice, a whisper guided by both fear and hope threaded together until they became inseparable. As the ethereal light of dawn began to break through the lingering shadows, Clara stood at a crossroads. Lucy's spirit shimmered with an otherworldly glow, her delicate form caught between longing and hope. Whispers that had once beckoned invitingly now carried a sense of urgency, weaving tales of souls yearning for release from their eternal limbo. Clara felt the weight of Lucy's sorrow settle upon her heart, heavy yet comforting. In that moment, she understood. A Blanche Nuit was not merely a legend, but a tapestry woven from lives intertwined through shared experiences, each thread representing desires unfulfilled and connection sought amidst the quiet despair of forgotten dreams. Beside her, Julian's presence flickered like a candle in the wind, a constant reminder of reality pressing in around them. He tightened his grip on Clara's arm, desperation coloring his voice as he implored her to leave this haunting embrace before it consumed them entirely. Yet Clara found herself torn. Every fiber of her being urged her to reach out to Lucy, to connect with this spirit whose pain mirrored her own unspoken yearnings. Clara, Julian murmured urgently again. Fear laced his tone as he glanced back toward the darkening shadows that seemed to close in around them. Can't stay here. It's dangerous. But Clara remained transfixed by Lucy's gaze. The depth of emotion swirling within those luminescent eyes spoke volumes about love and loss transcending mortal bounds. There was something profoundly beautiful about understanding what it meant to exist beyond life itself, and in that moment, she felt an undeniable compulsion drawing her closer. Lucy tilted her head slightly as if sensing Clara's turmoil without uttering a single word. Their hearts beat in rhythm across the divide, a silent conversation filled with longing and connection stretched thin by time and circumstance. The watcher emerged from the shadows, a tall figure cloaked in darkness, whose presence commanded attention without needing words. His piercing gaze danced between Clara and Julian, as if weighing their fates delicately against one another like feathers suspended midair under tension. A watcher gestured toward two paths unfolding beneath their feet, softly with golden light leading back towards safety and familiarity, while another glimmered enticingly with silver allure promising eternal connection among spirits entwined forevermore. Choose wisely. His intense stare conveyed silently the weight of eternity hung heavily upon them, as dawn threatened to shatter this fragile balance between realms. Clara felt a surge of conflicting emotions coursing through her veins. Desire clashed against reason within her heart like waves crashing against jagged rocks. He glanced back at Julian, his expression painted with concern tinged by pleading urgency, and it struck her then. They were bound together by more than friendship. They were tethered by shared experiences etched into memories spanning lifetimes. Every instinct screamed for them both to retreat to escape these echoes lingering just out of reach, but deep inside lay an undeniable urge for exploration into uncharted territories, where stories begged recognition amongst restless souls. Wrapped beneath silent skies painted only by moonlight's gentle glow, that suspended moment filled with possibilities stretching infinitely before them, she pondered whether surrendering to those whispers could drown out fears, or whether stepping forth would lead them down paths irrevocably altered. Forevermore, the air thickened around them as anticipation mingled beautifully with an uncertainty. Clara's decision loomed ahead, heavy yet sparkling with shimmering potential. Each heartbeat resonated louder than any spoken words a question. Poised delicately upon lips trembling slightly under pressure swirling around them. Ultimately guided more by intuition than logic alone. One choice offered freedom whilst another opened doors perhaps best left unopened when cast adrift. Midst lost dreams lingering ever closer, beneath shimmering veils held aloft by fate itself, as dawn approached, Clara stood at a precipice between two worlds. Lucy's spirit shimmered before her, a beacon of sorrow and hope intertwined. The whispers that had once seemed inviting now carried an undercurrent of urgency, a plea wrapped in the essence of countless souls yearning for release. Ethereal light surrounding Lucy illuminated her delicate features, revealing depths of longing carved by centuries spent in limbo. Clara could feel the weight of Lucy's story settling upon her heart like a soft blanket woven from memories both beautiful and tragic. He yearned to reach out, to connect with this spirit who had shared her pain and dreams so openly. That moment, Clara understood the true meaning behind La Blanche Nuit. The night was not merely a fantastical legend, but a tapestry woven from the lives of those who walked its path. Yet Julian's presence flickered like an anxious flame beside her, his grip tightening around her arm as he searched for clarity amidst this swirling uncertainty. He sensed the danger lurking just beyond their grasp. Every story Old Man Pierre had told echoed in his mind like a warning bell. With each passing second, he felt time slipping away as if they were caught in an illusion where reality blurred into shadows. Urgent whisper slipped through Julian's lips, a reminder laden with fear for what might happen if they lingered too long within this haunting embrace. A world they knew beckoned just beyond this ephemeral realm, yet Clara remained fixated on Lucy's gaze, which held an intensity that seemed to pierce through their very souls. Lucy tilted her head slightly, sensing Clara's turmoil without uttering a single word. It was as if their hearts beat in rhythm across the divide, two souls yearning for understanding yet bound by the constraints of existence. A watcher emerged, then a tall figure cloaked in darkness, whose presence commanded attention without uttering a sound. His piercing gaze scanned both Clara and Julian, as if weighing their fates delicately against each other like feathers suspended midair. A watcher gestured toward two paths that unfurled beneath their feet, faintly with golden light leading back towards safety, while another glimmered with silver allure promising endless connections among spirits entwined forevermore. Wisely, he conveyed silently through his intense stare the weight of eternity resting heavily upon them as dawn threatened to shatter this fragile balance between realms. Clara felt torn. Desire clashed violently against reason within her heart as she glanced back at Julian, whose expression mirrored concern tinged with pleading urgency. Every instinct screamed for them to run back towards familiarity, to escape these echoes lingering just beyond reach, but deep inside lay an undeniable compulsion urging exploration into uncharted territories, where stories begged recognition. Amongst restless souls trapped beneath silent skies, painted only by moonlight's gentle glow, that suspended moment filled with possibilities stretching infinitely before them, she pondered whether the allure of those whispers could drown out fears, or whether stepping forth would lead them down paths irrevocably altered forevermore. The air thickened as anticipation mingled beautifully with an uncertainty. Clara's decision loomed ahead, heavy yet laced with shimmering potential. Each heartbeat resonated louder than any words spoken aloud, a question poised delicately upon. Lips trembling slightly under pressure swirling around them. Ultimately guided by intuition, more profound than logic alone, One choice offered freedom, whilst another opened doors perhaps best left unopened. When cast adrift amidst lost dreams lingering ever closer beneath shimmering veils held aloft. My fated self. Clara inhaled deeply. She felt the weight of all possibilities coalesce around her like dust motes dancing in sunlight streaming gently through morning mist. This was it, the moment she'd been waiting for since first hearing Old Man Pierre's tales that night, where legends breathed life into reality. Every heartbeat whispered secrets longing to be unearthed, with resolve blooming brightly within her chest at last. Clara made her choice, a whisper guided by both fear and hope threaded together until they became inseparable.